For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world.
This is the main event.
Dildo Corn is alive.
And kicking. Come on over here, I'll headbutt your ass a couple times. You know what I'm saying?
Good afternoon, morning, evening, Punch Drunk fans. And that is no joke what you're seeing. That is Chad Zumock's Venmo. It's pretty simple. Chad-Zumock at Venmo.
There's no rules in a pandemic. I have no pride. This is what it is, people. There's no rules.
Penalty box right away. We forgot the penalty box buzzer. So many people when we said you were going to be on the show, and welcome our guest Chad Zumock, everybody, and Johnny as always. When they're like, "Hey, Chad's going to be on the show again," and I got about, I don't even know, man, 10 or 12 tweets. They're all like, "Give him the penalty box buzzer again." I missed that.
I'm literally in a box. I'm in a box right now.
Now, where are you right now? You're in Florida?
I'm in Florida, and I'm
everything behind you says Ohio.
That's my hometown. That's my podcast. And so I'm down here trying to figure it out like we all are. You know, it's good to see you guys, though. Let's get that out of the way. I haven't talked to you in a long time.
Long time.
And,
very long time.
I miss you guys. I miss the good old days. They were the good old days.
It seems like everything was the good old days now, huh?
Yeah.
Getting pussy was the good old days. Going to bars was the good old days.
Yeah, you can't go to bars.
Gigs, doing gigs. You can't do anything.
It's so weird. It's just very
not
strange.
Wearing a mask in Walmart was the good old days. Yeah, all of that shit.
I also got my own hot sauce, guys. Look.
Oh, is that real or is that like a fan thing?
No, this is a real thing. Silk City hot sauce, Mango Madness, Z-Man's.
Oh wow, that label's awesome, dude.
Miami
so
Vice
cool.
inspired. Yeah, it's Miami Vice inspired.
Where can you get that?
SilkCityHotSauce.com. Use the promo code ZUMOCK. You get 15% off.
What's the flavor like? What do you got in there?
I'll mail you some, Johnny. It's
I'll buy
it's
some
like,
shit.
No,
I like
I'll send it to you. I'll take care of you, man. Come on.
Oh, thanks, brother.
How in the fuck did you get your own hot sauce going?
That's
in
cool,
a pandemic, you started thinking of things. Well, Silk City, they're like a legit hot sauce that was a fan of my podcast. They reached out.
Okay.
I said, let's get
like,
to
hey,
work.
Let's get our. So it's their brand of hot sauce, and they have like a Chad Zumock flavor. One flavor.
It's kind of a bucket list. It's a bucket list.
Does it taste like cum? Is your Zumock flavor cum?
Yes. Because when you think about Zumock, you think about cum.
Well, when I think about hot sauce, I think, man, I wish this tasted more like cum.
I know.
Well, who was it? Was it Paris Hilton that made that candle that smells like jizz? Somebody made one of those chicks made like a sex-flavored candle.
What's her name made a candle smell like her pussy?
Hold on. There's a sex
It was,
candle.
what's her name? That crazy chick that's got all that fucking website. The lead singer of Coldplay's wife or ex-wife.
Oh, fuck.
You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, shit. Yeah, she's in,
I'm not up to speed with Coldplay.
She looks like Phoebe from Friends, but it ain't Phoebe from Friends.
Yeah, fuck me.
Gwyneth
Paltrow.
Gwyneth Paltrow has a candle that's supposed
It's an orgasm scented candle is what she called it. There you go.
She also got a pussy smelling candle.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, but the one I was thinking of is the one that was the This smells like my orgasm is the name of the.
I mean, she's just saying words and putting them on candles at this point. But if there was a candle that smelled like either good pussy or bad pussy, I mean, because there's both. It's not just like pussy isn't just like.
Yeah, and I don't want a candle that smells like either of them.
Tebow, did you ever meet Paris Hilton?
Now, I never met her, but I did grind my dick on her butt at a party once, and that's true
fun.
Story. It was at a party for the X Games. It was like an X Games party in Los Angeles. You know where it was? It was at the Muppet Studios right there in La Brea. Where
Jim Henson Studios. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. They had a big party there for the X Games. And
wait,
so
is that the thing with the?
Is
that the thing with the frog on top of it? The dancing frog
that's
as you
right.
go in. Okay.
Yeah, that's Jim Henson Studios. And
Kermit.
Really cool lot too. It was you can't see any of that from La Brea, but when you get past those gates, it's badass back there. But she was walking down the hallway, and there was a crowded hallway, so like there was people lined up on the walls, and then so you kind of had to squeeze by people. It was a real crowded thing. And I go to my buddy who was in town from college. I go, hey, look, Paris Hilton's coming by, and she's gonna have to turn sideways to walk through me and the guy that was across the hall.
This is going to be a me too. I can tell already. Go ahead.
Yeah, hashtag me too.
She comes walking by and she's like, excuse me. She comes walking by and so she had to turn sideways to put like her butt towards me, like almost like she's boxing me out. And I just gave it the lean in. Gave it the old lean back.
Did you get anything out of that, Jason?
I got herpes from it.
If Paris Hilton had herpes and you knew she had herpes, would you have sex with her bareback?
She does have herpes, and I know she has herpes. But
how do you know?
I'll tell you how I know.
Tell me, TMZ.
Because she got one of those like storage lockers, like evicted, like she didn't pay the thing. She had a bunch of shit in like a random storage locker in LA.
Yeah.
And so then that shit gets auctioned off. And whoever got that, somebody found out that it was her shit because of all of her. She had a bunch of her like records in there in a file folder. And then she had a bunch of herpes medication and then medical records about having herpes. And they put it on blast on like TMZ or something.
Oh, no shit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go.
And the answer is yes, I still would fuck her.
Yeah, so would I. I have a thing for her. That's why I'm asking.
Oh, you do?
I think she's cute. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched her movie on YouTube. That's how.
Is that what we're calling it now? Movie? Or are you talking about her sex tape? What are you talking?
She has like a documentary on her life.
Oh.
Is that she's got is that new though, right?
Yeah, it just came out like a month or two ago.
Yeah. I've heard actually good things about it.
Was it good?
Growing up rich and how difficult her life was in a weird way. Just being who she is. Isn't that what it's about?
Yeah, basically. I'm on celebritieswhohaveherpes.com, and she definitely has herpes.
Is that a fucking website? Is that really a website?
It's lifewithherpes.com.
Lifewithherpes.com?
Yeah, Usher, Michael Vick has herpes. Dennis Rodman has herpes.
Now, Michael Vick has it because of the Ron Mexico thing.
Yeah, I was about to say, I heard just Ron Mexico had herpes. That was it. Not Michael Vick, just Ron Mexico.
Britney Spears, Pam Anderson, Tommy Lee. The usual cast.
Tommy Lee, probably. That's his entry level of drugs.
Who do you think gave it to whom there?
Who
got it first? Tommy Lee or
Tommy Lee, Motley Crue. Motley Crue in the 90s.
Tommy Lee's had it before he was famous.
Pam Anderson got some numbers, though, dude. She got some
fucking rock.
He didn't get that from her. He was fucking trollops in the 70s, bro.
Did you guys remember that video of them that went around in the 90s? Did you guys ever watch that?
Are you kidding me, Johnny?
On the boat?
Did I watch a Pam Anderson sex tape when I was 20? Of course I fucking did. I auditioned for it, actually.
Johnny, they rented that out at my rental shop in my small hometown. They had like an on VHS tape.
Brilliant. Was it always gone?
I bought the VHS online. I got it mailed to me. I watched it. I bought the VHS.
That's one of the better ones. Like if you're ranking the celebrity sex tapes, that's up there, I would say.
How about when he blindfolded her in that video? By the way, if there's for any godly reason or millennial 20-year-olds that are listening to this shit, back in the day, like in the 90s, there was no like YouTube or World Star Hip Hop or something. Just all these bootleg VHS tapes would go. You would just get them passed around from people to people. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you got to copy that on the ball. You would get all these. And there was a very famous one, which is this Pam Anderson sex tape. Now, what happened is some like security person or maid or something stole a VHS tape out of a camera in their house. On this VHS tape was Tommy Lee kept recording different little things. And, back then you would just hit stop or pause and then you next hit play. So it would go from like a birthday party to like, someone doing, a whole different, next thing you know, you're at a wedding, whatever. It would just be this one tape that got stolen. And so it was a very weird tape to watch because you'd be watching them getting it on or she should be sucking his dick or whatever. And then it would cut to them being on like a yacht and it would be her birthday on a yacht. But the best one was he's bringing her to the yacht and she's blindfolded. It's a $400 million boat probably.
Huge.
That he rented for them for the weekend, like in fucking below deck and shit. And they pull up. This is how silly she was to not know how much money her fiance now has. They pull up to this giant thing. She goes, "Oh, cool! You bought me a boat."
Yeah, that's so funny.
It's like, bitch, I rented a boat for us for 2 days for $100,000, but no, I don't have $400 million.
I used to do an impression because every time Tommy blew a load, he'd always go, "Fuck, fuck, Pamela, fuck, fuck."
That was huge. Really, culturally, that was massive. Pam and Tommy.
Culturally, it was all anybody talked about. It's like probably when I was in college, maybe just out of college, and then, babe, you're so fucking hot, babe. You're so fucking sexy, babe.
Yeah.
It's the white trashiest dialogue that they continue to have, and you're like, this is how they talk to each other? Gross.
She's like, "I love you, baby." "Yeah, I fucking love you, babe."
And it's all just really tight on her vagina, like that. The sex parts, or he just like puts the camera right in her pussy.
Complete perv.
And Tommy Lee, known for a monster dong.
Yeah.
What was the Jeff Ross joke at the roast? Tommy Lee's dick's so big it has an elbow.
Pam Anderson, I gotta say though, solid vag on her. Like that was a.
And when you think of the hours on the clock that thing's had, pretty decent shape.
Yeah. I mean, that was at 100,000 miles by 23, probably.
There was a time where she was the smokiest of all smoke shows. She was absolutely the hottest.
Her and Carmen Electra, for me, were like 1A, 1B in the 90s.
And then they did the same mistake everybody makes. Just start getting all this stupid plastic surgery, and it's like you don't even look real anymore.
I don't know.
So
Carmen
hot when you looked real.
Carmen Electra looks better than Pam. Yeah.
In the Last Dance, she still looked good. Carmen Electra.
She got way better work done than Pamela Anderson. Yeah.
She looked great in that Last Dance.
Did you guys already talk about the Last Dance? I'm sure you did.
Oh yeah. Feel free.
Yeah, but
Tebow, that's probably your wheelhouse, right? Because you're probably a Bulls fan, being from the Chicago area.
Yeah, I grew up a Bulls fan. That was like reliving my childhood.
That was the Last Dance was better.
Talk about the last year, which by that time I was not living in this area anymore. I had already kind of grown up and moved on, but they talk about every goddamn thing. His rookie year, all that. I remember watching him in the Olympics when they had Bobby Knight was Indiana University coach.
84.
He was the Olympic coach, and watching him and being like, dang, this guy the Bulls got looks pretty fucking good. And I'm 11 maybe at the time?
Yeah, I actually thought the Last Dance was better than the NBA.
I was 11. I was 11
this year. I enjoyed the Last Dance more.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it more.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Hornets fan, so yeah, obviously.
And the ratings were better.
Yeah, the regular sports ratings were just devastated this year, like across the board. I don't think anybody had a good year in sports. And you would think everybody at home, like why is it not? I think maybe people were just cutting back on cable or something. I don't know.
They didn't want the social justice.
That's for sure. I know that for sure.
They didn't want to get jammed up with these.
That too. Yeah, but I agree with that, Chad. But if you look, hockey, the Stanley Cup Finals was down 60% from last year. 60%. And they didn't do any of that shit. I mean, it's just all Canadian white dudes.
That's true. There's something to be said about that. But I think a combination of cable cutting, the fucking, the pandemic, the social justice shit, people not being able to go to games.
That's big. And also, like, there's an element like this. I want to talk about this because I was thinking about this earlier. There's a thing where it's like, to me, and it started with me thinking about fantasy football because I'm shitting the bed in just about every league. And I go, yeah, but I don't even really care. And then my buddy goes, well, you only don't care because you're 500 and you're 5-6 in every league. I go, not really, man. Like, even when I was drafting fantasy, even when if I was fucking 10-1 right now, I would still not be talking as much shit because it all kind of feels like it's not real or it doesn't count.
What if the Falcons were better, though, Jason? What if the Falcons were better?
I'm telling you, I still would be like, fuck, man, why do we have to be this good in a fucking year that doesn't really count? That's kind of my thinking. And when my team sucks, I'm kind of like, I mean, it's fucking everybody's not even playing. Every other day, somebody gets benched for 2 weeks because they got to fucking sneeze.
It's getting worse, too. It's getting worse, man. I mean, what the Denver
I don't know
thing,
how the
let's
NFL,
talk about the Denver thing. How did they play that game? They shouldn't have played that game. That was unfair to the Broncos completely.
It may have been statistically the worst game in offense in NFL since the modern era.
Did you see that, Chad, where the Denver just didn't have any quarterbacks available?
Yeah, we do a football podcast called Misery Loves Football. And
that's a great name. Wow. Who does that?
That's a great name.
You and who?
The Kevin Brennan, Ken Mosca, and we have a celebrity guest on. And
that's a funny name.
Yeah, so we were talking about how they had to get that kid didn't play quarterback since high school.
Kendall Hinton. No, he played at Wake Forest in college.
Forest. Yeah, he was a quarterback in college and then got drafted and moved to receiver. But he hasn't played quarterback in fucking
couple years. Yeah,
probably 2 years. You know, that's
that shows you though how hard NFL quarterback is. You know, I mean, it's impossible, really, because you got guys. Think about all the guys that were great quarterbacks in college, like Jimmy Clausen, who was awful in the NFL.
There's not a lot of jobs where you can go. Who was I talking about this? Me and Brett Ernst and Jimmy Schubert were talking about this, and we're arguing about quarterback and all this. And Schubert goes, think about this. There's probably 4,000, like, traveling, really working, like, headlining comedians in America. And we're all one of them. Mm-hmm. And that's crazy that only 4,000 to 5,000 other people have your job at your level. If you're an NFL quarterback, there's only 31 other people in the world that have your fucking job. It can't be an easy job. No. If you're an NFL quarterback, there's 30. It has to be a brotherhood. There has to be, even if you're playing against each other, you hate each other. You kind of secretly have to get, because even the comics that there's people in the world that I hate. And then there's comedians in the world.
Name names.
There's comedians in the world that I hate. Of course, we'll get to it. But if you're a comedian and I don't personally like you, I still have an ounce of respect for you because I know what you have to go through to just do what you do.
Right.
I don't have to personally like you, but I will have a respect for a comic that I won't have for a fucking, whatever person that I don't know who's also an asshole. I kind of give you a little bit of like, okay, the guy's a fucking asshole. I'm not going to chip his teeth because I know he's fucking just trying to get his set together. But
I'm with you. I'm with you on that. But going back to what you're saying about the Falcons, the Browns are 8-3 and they're second in the AFC right now, and I'm loving it. Every minute of it. I don't give a shit.
And they're not getting a lot from quarterback, are they?
No, they're not. Baker's not. He's not having that great of a year. I mean, he's a competitor.
Do you believe him? I know you to be. I've known you for a long time.
Exactly
I know
what I was going
for
to
a
ask.
Fact, you are what I would describe a diehard fan. You know how so many people are like, oh, I love, like, I don't even know if I would call Ari a diehard Cowboys fan. I know I was a Cowboys fan. I know he's had Cowboys merch in the days, but Ari doesn't. Ari misses 5, 6, 7 games. Ari checks up on ESPN the next day on his phone to see if his favorite team won or lost yesterday. To me, that's a fan. That's not a fucking diehard
I almost
fan.
have a panic attack every Sunday while Ari checks
I wear a jersey. Ow. My mother's
the kicker's
house.
Jersey.
Exactly. Right, it is right there, Young Wei Koo. I wear a kicker's jersey at my mother's house, and I'm pushing 50. You know what I mean? Yeah. On Sundays, there's a different thing. And I know you to be a diehard fan. That being said, give me your honest feelings about Baker Mayfield. Because to me, he seems like the kind of guy where you're like, he's almost like a Trubisky. Like, we drafted him. It might not work. We'll try our 4 or 5 year experiment, but then move on.
I watch every single Browns game, every single Sunday. I go to the Browns backers bar in Clearwater, and I sit there. I watched every minute, every game, and I will tell you this, kid, the one thing about Baker Mayfield is he never gives up. He
got moxie.
He's got that.
Check this out, Jason. Todd Sauerbrunn, the punter.
That's a fan.
Nice, Johnny. Did you just get that for Hanukkah?
No, I've had it for you. I had it since he was on the team. Yeah, he's got moxie. Yeah, sorry, Chad. I had to.
I don't think he has all the
shit. How have you been giving me shit, Johnny? Sorry, Chad, for having a kicker jersey for the last 10 weeks, knowing in your mom's bedroom you got a fucking Todd Sauerbrunn jersey.
Dude, you remember him? He was like a jacked punter, and he would like blow people up on punts and stuff. So I got the jersey. It was on clearance, honestly. But yeah, I always liked the guy. Yeah. You like Chad. So if this year, there's somebody that they like at quarterback in the 3rd round, are you cool if they take like a 3rd round guy, a flyer on a guy?
Yeah, you're always supposed to judge an NFL quarterback in their 3rd year. This is Baker's 3rd year. He's been horribly inconsistent. He has amazing offensive weapons all around him.
But that's the thing. Your 3rd year is a goddamn global pandemic, and every offensive line's hurt. Your receivers are hurt. You can't practice. You can't get a preseason in. And then you've been
watching though, Chad. I mean, is he missing open guys? Like, what are his mistakes? What are they?
That's what Baker does. Like, he missed what the hell is this guy doing? And then next play downfield, I mean, he throws the most accurate, awesome throw, perfect throw. So he keeps coming at you. Like even if he reminds me of a young Dan Marino when he played for you remember Dan Marino would always throw interceptions, but then he would throw an amazing touchdown pass.
Favre did that a lot too.
Yeah.
Favre was the king of that. Yeah. Well, I mean, where are the fans on him, Chad, on Twitter? Like, are they still behind the guy or what?
Well, when we won on Monday, because I follow all the Cleveland media guys, and you would have thought we lost. I'm like, what the fuck? We're 8-3. What are we bitching about? Like, we're winning. We haven't won in almost 20 years. Like, what are we doing?
That's how Panthers fans were with Cam Newton, especially the last couple of years. I mean, the guy was having an MVP season, and there'd still be this group of fans, this clique, that just wanted to shit on the guy. So
I'm interested to see how long it'll be till those Boston fans turn on Newton.
If they lose, I mean, if they win like this week, even if he plays badly, it's amazing though because he was playing really well, and then he got COVID, and he has been terrible since then. I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming that's not a coincidence.
You blame COVID?
No, I don't. But it's just, I mean, he got COVID and he got really bad. I blame his veganism. Actually, he hasn't been good since he became a vegan.
Oh, he went vegan.
Yeah, dude, he went vegan. What about Carson Wentz, by the way? Carson Wentz, to me, I kind of lump him in with Baker Mayfield, although Baker's played better. Like Wentz looked like he was going to be. He looked like he was going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL for the next 10 years at least. And have you kept up with him?
Yeah, he at least looked like he was going to be like the next like Eli Manning kind of good.
Yeah, maybe even a little better. He could run a little bit. Eli can never run, you know.
How do you have a statue of Nick Foles outside the stadium in Philadelphia and not have Nick Foles? Like, how is it? Why? I don't get it. I don't understand.
How did that guy win a Super Bowl, by the way? I mean, he's terrible too.
Well, it's a classic example of one of those things where he takes that team over so late in the season that there's no goddamn film of him. No one have watched him play in that system at all. They had, I mean, proof is in the tape that when you say they had no idea what was coming at them, that's how you can get those gimmicky plays like the Philly special, but they're like, nobody even saw that coming. And they
no
never
tendencies,
pulled
yeah. That's the truest thing, dude. That
idea of what we're gonna do. So let's get crazy with it.
That's the truest thing. That's a big reason, Chad. You know, you were saying the third year is kind of telling. That's one of the big reasons, I think, because that's the year that coordinators have had the chance to study your tendencies, and they have film on everything. You know, all your throws. And if you're playing well in the third year, then you're probably
there's no more surprises in the bag.
Like Lamar Jackson. What about Lamar Jackson? I mean, what the fuck, man?
And to Baker's defense, this is his third coach in 3 years too. So
that's
you gotta.
Tough. That's
tough, a rough one for a young quarterback.
Yeah,
that's terrible when that happens to a good. You know, there's some people that was their entire career. You know, they had an 11-year career and they play for because what happens first is you go 3 different coaches, and then the fourth coach comes in and goes, we got to go a whole different direction. And then the second half of your career, you play 2 years for a different team. Look at like Fitzpatrick. That guy's played for 9 fucking teams, and all he does is win for 1 or 2 years. But Fitzpatrick's always been the guy.
All he does is win, 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 win.
He's really not a bad quarterback. I've always
not
thought
a bad quarterback at all.
Yeah.
But all he's been is this gap wedge guy that just comes in and for an interim coach, and then you get a new coach, and then they move on from him.
You know what's funny is I live 3 miles away from Raymond James Stadium where Tom Brady plays. I live
Super Bowl. Walk to the Super Bowl.
I could walk to the Super Bowl this year, and regardless of what happens, Tampa will be hosting the Super Bowl.
Yep, that is true.
Yeah. So, and I don't know.
They have fans at Tampa games, right?
Yeah, it's only like a certain percentage. I think 15. I don't know. Florida's a little loose on the law. I know they're getting a little backlash, but Florida doesn't give a shit. They don't care
on some things, anyway.
Yeah, some things on the law.
Oh yeah, I want to get into this now.
What, Tebow? What?
Because
what are you talking about, Tebow?
We're doing an episode 1 or 2 weeks ago, and I know we tried to get you last week, but we couldn't get you, so we moved it to this week. But Tripley's like, I just want to make an announcement, bro. I love Chad Zumock. I support him. I go, what happened now? Now what happened?
Yeah.
Now what happened? So you get pulled over driving your car. Tell me how accurate this is. Because I've seen all the free Chad Zumock posts, tweets, blasts. You get pulled over driving your car, and
I gotta be honest with you, Tebow, and I'm not my lawyer wants me to like stay clear of it because it's a whole thing. But
you say what you can and cannot say.
I will say what I'm being charged with isn't true. You know, I had nothing to do with it. What I'm being charged with.
Okay.
So it's one of those situations where wrong place, wrong time, wrong person. That's all I'll say.
What's that set you back? Legal fees.
Oh, right now, I haven't even stepped a foot in a courtroom right now, and I'm already down, no joke, with lawyer. Car was it was impounded. Bail. I had to pay $6,500 bail. So I'm already down $20,000. I was living pretty good, decently, and I'm panicking. So for those of you saying, hey, why you have a Venmo shirt? I just told you why. That's how serious it is. So go sign up for my fucking Patreon. God damn it.
So you get pulled over. You get wrongly accused of something. Do you think that this was because you were white?
I do.
I'm so sick of this happening, Chad.
Yeah.
We've been marching all summer for this to stop happening to white people.
I flipped the script. I shot the cop.
That's a smooth move. I bet your lawyer's going to love this podcast. Oh, he's taking it very seriously, Your Honor.
I told Johnny before the show, because we were talking, I go, the last thing I want to do is go into a courtroom and the prosecution brings up Punch Drunk Sports as their evidence.
That's the last thing anybody. There's no scenario where us being brought up in a courtroom is good whatsoever. Not a single scenario. They're going to be like, you know what? The case was going really bad for me. But then they mentioned your podcast, Punch Drunk Sports.
Yeah, they come up to you with like a couple of pieces of paper stapled together, and they say, "Can you read the line there highlighted?" Yes, I said it reminds me. You know what it was like, Jason? Remember when we got in trouble with that ad read, and they made us read it, and it
Which
was
one?
The one about those RX bars, and they were like, yeah, and then host number 2 said, Did you eat RX bars to drown out the sound of cocksucking in West Hollywood?
Yeah.
And they sent it to us, Chad, and like they have a transcript of the entire conversation that somebody typed up. Just talking about cocksucking during the ad read.
Cocksucking. Well, those RX bars taste a lot better than cum, right, Johnny? You fucking faggot. And then, we now in our defense, we were eating their bars while we were on air. We were saying they were good.
They are
we
good.
Did say where you can get them. They're very good for you. But we were doing it in our way that might drive an ad executive insane. And then they sent us an email. Okay, first of all, here's what we did like. You said it was good. You gave the right promo thing. You guys were eating it on air. That's great, blah, blah, blah. Couple quick notes. At fucking, then they start giving you time codes. At 8:54, host number 1 says, does the chewing drown out the sound of all the butt fucking in your faggot neighborhood? And then host number 3 chimes in. It's like, wow. My favorite part of all of that was not that we got money from them for that. It was that somebody had to sit there and listen and type all of that out. Because when you can't sit there and type super fast, then you got to rewind and keep listening.
It was when I was a newspaper reporter. That was half my job was just typing shit that I'd recorded. It sucks. It's the worst.
Yeah, typing copy. It's the worst. But somebody had to sit through and listen to all of us talking about Johnny and how much he loves cum.
That's pretty funny. So with that being said, I don't want to
understand. Hey,
evidence.
I don't want to get you in any kind of trouble. But
and then next thing you know, they're like, we would like to bring a character witness in, Dave Anthony. Would you like to say a couple things?
Who blocked Sam Tripoli
Him and Sam
on
are
his
still
new
getting
Twitter.
into it over that. Him and Sam are still getting into it over that.
You know what, bro?
Tripoli sounds like if Mickey Mouse was fucking Minnie Mouse and they were drunk and he accidentally put it in her ass. That's what Sam's laugh sounds like.
Does he still do this with the microphone?
All the time. Like cerebral palsy?
Dude, the other day on Zoom, his laptop wasn't working with Zoom, so he had to use his phone. And it was nauseating, him holding the phone and just shaking around like this. He's like Michael fucking J. Fox with the Parkinson's.
Fucking Epstein. Fucking LeBron. I told you about LeBron.
If you could see Chad Zumock right now, if only listen to the audio, his impression is a dead ringer of Tripoli, except for your shirt says your name and not his name.
Clippers didn't want to be in the bubble. They didn't want to be in there.
It's getting funnier. You gotta see him shaking with his head sideways.
LeBron still won't bring up China. He won't bring up China.
That's a big issue for Sam.
His hatred of LeBron, I'll never understand. You know what? I'll even say this because you're a big Cleveland guy. Everybody's hatred of LeBron, I'll never understand.
See, I'm that way about Tom Brady. I don't care for LeBron, actually. I'm not a big fan of that guy.
I'm not either. I seen that guy.
What's he ever done?
He's just a fake to me. I don't know.
He's a phony. He's a big-time phony. He doesn't stand for anything. Yeah, I mean, we could.
I mean, he started a goddamn fucking school where he puts people through college and shit.
Tebow, it's a tax write-off.
Tax write-off, yeah.
It's a huge, and he jammed up the Akron taxpayers for that. They're pissed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he jammed them all up for that dumb school. And by the way, I was just in Ohio before I moved to Florida. It's a shithole school. He basically took an old bank. It's not like he built a school. He just threw a bunch of he got a bunch of loans and they put a bunch of teachers, and it's like a shitty building. It's not even a good school. I'm
going to start if I ever get anything going, my tax write-off's going to be, because I want to help. I want to give the handicapped and people like that something to do. I'm buying a golf course for blind people. I'll play on the two, probably, 36 holes a day or whatever, but all the blind people they want, please come golf on my golf course for free. Anytime you want, for free. You will. The only person you'll run into will be me.
I can't there's these.
I will be golfing on my own private golf course, 36 holes a day.
When I was in college, we have a club football team that plays some other colleges that they're regular college teams. And
that mean it's only for club foot people? Is that a sport I don't know?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, this is kind of related to that. There's this school called Gallaudet that is only deaf people, and they have a football team, and they use like drums.
I'm more interested in their choir.
And they use like drums and shit to communicate like the snap and the whistles and stuff, so they can feel like the vibrations. Isn't that interesting? They have this big like bass drum and go boom like that, and I guess these deaf guys can. They're pretty good at football, though.
Are they any good? Are they any
They're
good?
okay.
I mean,
yeah,
is it like
okay.
11 on 11?
Yeah, I mean it's proper football. Yeah, it's
tackle.
Yeah. It's football. Yeah,
Pass?
It's just like college football. It's college football. Yeah, it's kind of like our JV team at North Carolina, basically. Yeah, wow. But they play other colleges like regular teams.
Hey, can I tell you guys a joke that never works on stage, but I still think it's hilarious, and it might work on a sports podcast?
What do you think this is for? Yeah, go ahead.
You remember the movie Harry and the Hendersons?
Absolutely. Yeah. I reference it a lot in jokes.
What is he? Is that like? Is he like a Bigfoot? What is he?
It was like kind of like a Bigfoot, but a sitcom where they just lived with this Bigfoot.
I used to watch that when I was a kid. Yeah.
Almost like Chewbacca was like if Chewbacca was the wacky neighbor of, almost like Alf but bigger.
It's an Alf ripoff. Is basically what it is. Yeah.
But I think it was predated Alf, maybe.
Oh, did it really? Okay.
You remember the movie The Blind Side?
Yeah, with Sandra Bullock. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same movie. It's the exact same movie.
Pretty much.
Oh, and if we weren't off ATC, now we are. So it's now official.
Shout out All Things Comedy. What's up? I want my own show. I want to go in front of the board. I want my own show. It's pretty good. I got felony charges. What do you guys want to talk about?
What do you think that when that news came across about Chad, that they were just all like, "Oh, we knew it. We knew that guy was a rascal. We knew."
Oh yeah, there's a lot of people like celebrating. You know what's funny is I really thought it would just go under the radar, and I'm pulling. I swear to God, I get out of jail, and it was like 5 a.m, and I take an Uber, and as I'm pulling into my driveway, Mike Calta, he's the morning show guy down here.
Mm. Yeah,
he's talking about it on the show. I'm like, how did this get out already?
How did it get out? How does that happen?
I don't know. And next thing you know, everybody in the comedy world's texting me. Like everybody. Joey Diaz is asking about him. Like,
we found out from people tweeting at us. Like, I mean, so somebody, I mean, early, like, right, not long. If you said it happened like 5 a.m., it was like just a couple hours later. People start tweeting at us.
Yeah, when Joey Diaz is asking, like, what's going on with me, I'm like, wow, this thing spread like wildfire. I don't know, I don't know.
So you don't have an inkling of who would have, like, because it had to be somebody that saw the report, right?
It had to be somebody who was connected to comedy, and next thing you know, it's a game of telephone. But
do you think it was like a cop or something? Like a cop knew who you were or something like that? Or do you think it was just somebody checking the police log?
Well, somebody told me that there's a guy who checks the police thing every weekend. So it could have been one of those situations because there's those gossipy people out there, and maybe he recognized the name. And,
well, dude, the newspapers do that. I mean, half of their news items come from just the jail logs. They go down their jail logs and look at the charges and look for people that have, recognizable names. So it could be. Yeah, it could be.
Yeah. So I don't know. It just spread like wildfire, and I just, I'm just like, all right, well, I got to just deal with it. I got day by day figure out what to do, how to take care of this. I mean, we're in the middle of a pandemic too, so there's not a lot of work for us right now. So that's why I'm constantly pushing my Patreon and everything else because I don't know.
What are you doing on the Patreon, Chad?
I do my podcast, Sit Down Zumock. I do, bonus episodes. I got one coming out tonight with Dave Landau and Rich Voss. And, it's just like what we're doing here, just trying to get it out. And I do the Misery Loves Football with Kevin Brennan on Patreon. And
is that Patreon only, the football pop?
You get it for free on Saturdays, but it's Patreon only and video only on Patreon for the first 3 days. Because we basically just go around the league. We go over the bets, like the lines for the games, and we talk about it. Well, I'd love to have you guys on.
Yeah, Johnny and I would love to do it.
Let's do it.
For sure, yeah.
That's the whole cast of Punch Drunk doing your show. You heard me, everybody.
All of us. All of Punch Drunk doing the show.
Let me ask you a quick question, Chad, because I'm looking at some of your tweets right here.
Cool.
September, let's do our new segment, which everybody loves, called Hey, why'd you tweet that?
You're in trouble, buddy.
September 16th, why did you tweet, Hey, state of Florida, I dare you to throw the book at me? What does that mean?
I said that?
Yeah, on September 16th.
Show him the tweet, Jason. Show him the tweet. There it is, right there. Proof.
Yep. Did I really say that?
And then on October 28th, you wrote, Hey, all female comics, why don't you quit blabbing about rape? You're starting to make this hard for us.
All right. That's not true. This is all fabricated.
No, I saw that. Somebody retweeted that I follow, and I saw that. Yeah,
oh, great. Now, you don't think I have enough problems right now? Now I got to deal with female comics and rape?
Why did you tweet this morning, on my life, 100% not showing up to my court date? Come get some.
Ooh. That come get some, really. That's tough.
Come get some, state of Florida. Come get some, Ron DeSantos. Speaking of which, if you guys want to come to my court date, it's December 15th at 8:30.
Well.
Shout out Tampa Municipal Court.
That is a straight up plug.
That's as good a gig as you're going to get right now, honestly.
It really is. That's the only thing. The sad part is that's what I have to. That's my gig. That's my only appearance.
Have you thought about what you're going to wear for your big show?
You're looking at it.
Yeah, you wear that on with that, and then the judge sends you money after he hears your whole story and feels bad for you. Are you doing any gigs, dude? Or is it? Are you? I mean,
I was working consistently. I was one of the few comics out there.
What does that mean? You were doing like getting on a plane, doing road gigs, or there's a lot of gigs in Florida, or both? That
and doing road gigs. I was just jumping on everywhere. I mean, I'm in Naples next week, so I'm doing I'm doing New Year's at Side Splitters with Mark Norman, but. I'm taking whatever I can get. Whatever I can get, I'll take.
Same.
I know Sammy's out there. Are you doing gigs, Jason?
Yeah. Oh, my.
We should talk about that, Jason. Yeah.
Yeah. Plug your gigs, Jay.
Well, he had actually. He's got a big.
I was doing
doing
an album recording a live album called Covidiot last Friday, in Valparaiso at the Market Comedy Lounge, but they literally got shut down about 4 hours before I had to be there.
Oh
maybe about 7 hours before the show. So they moved it just because people on the production side tested positive for COVID, so they didn't want to. I mean,
oh Jesus!
And Jason, what you said? You were like already. You'd showered, you gotten dressed, you were getting ready to head out the door.
I was at that place where I was about to leave in about 2-3 hours. But you know how that is, Chad, when you're doing an hour, let alone recording. But when you're doing a whole hour. I'm at that thing like I'm like on the patio, chain smoking and running through my shit. I already had that kind of like adrenaline going.
Yeah.
And then I didn't get to do anything with it, so I killed my dog.
Ooh, that's a pretty extreme. But so,
And then the worst part. Well, thank you, I appreciate that. The worst, you're about to see one though. The worst part is, and then the guy called back. He goes, "Just fooling with you, bro. I'll see you in a couple hours." I'm like, "Ah, fuck! Now I got this dead dog all wrapped on my dick because I fucked it to death." But it has been moved to December 11th. I've mentioned that a couple times. So anybody listening to this, I know there's a bunch of Punch Drunk fans that were going. All the tickets are still valid for what is now a week and a half from now. So it's just got moved 2 Fridays from then to make sure everybody doesn't have COVID. So still going on.
Is it called the Valparaiso Women's Club on Washington Street?
Yes, that's exactly where it is. No, it's Market Comedy Lounge in Valparaiso, Indiana. But then I will be going over to that women's lounge, kind of doing a Ted Bundy impression after my set. So check it out.
How far are you from South Bend?
I'm sitting in the middle of it right now.
Are you in South Bend as we speak?
I'm right in the middle of it.
There's a club I did there called The Drop.
Yeah, it's still there. I had to close for COVID, but it's still there.
Okay, yeah, I did that a long time ago.
Yeah, Drop's still there.
All right,
but they're not doing anything now. But yeah, they're still there.
Okay,
it's kind of a sceney club. I was talking to all these comics that I know from doing this gig at the other place. They're like, "Yeah, man, that place is kind of cliquey." I go, "Motherfucker, I hang out at the Comedy Store. You want to talk about cliquey? That place will make you want to kill yourself if you think your South Bend Comedy Club is cliquey."
I got to tell you, my last couple months in LA, I was at my lowest of low. Not like I am now, killing it. But I would walk to the store and just get depressed. I'd see like Neil Brennan. I'm like, ugh, God damn it. Are you serious? Like, I just hated it. I was like, I don't want
that place is always oscillates between making you want to put a gun in your mouth and making you the happiest you possibly could be. And there's almost no gray area.
What's the deal with Neil? Just because you're chummy with Kevin? Is that?
Well, that's what I used to be friends with Neil until I became chummy with Kevin, and then Neil became a dick to me all of a sudden just because of that.
Now, because he doesn't get along with his brother.
Yeah, it's not my fault.
And you got along with both of them. He was like, "Hey, I don't get along with him, so if you're talking to him, you're no longer talking to me."
How much of that is real? How much of that is real?
He hasn't talked to him in 5 years. It's 100% real. There's no WWE antics there. It's real beef.
Is he outwardly not nice to you? I'm talking about Neil. Is he outwardly not nice to you when you run into him at the store or the Improv?
Well, what happened was this was the start of everything when I moved to LA. Like, I got to LA, we were doing the Punch Drunk Sports, right? Really excited about that. I go, "Hey, I know Neil. He does a show in Santa Monica. I'm going to send him a message." I go, "Hey, Neil, I'd love to do your show sometime." And he wrote back, I still have it. He goes, Buddy, that's not how it works, bro. You don't talk shit about me and expect to get spots in this town." He goes, "By the way, you come to the Comedy Store, they love me there, okay? They all love me there." I'm like, "Where's this coming from?" I was like, "Neil, I've never said shit about you, ever." And he goes, "Don't even try to play." He goes, "I know what you said." I go, "I never said anything." He made it up completely. So every time I'd see him, he would avoid me and just like go the other way.
And you're sure, right? It's not like you were on a podcast with Kevin and he was joking about Neil and you were like, "Oh yeah, he's kind of weird, huh?" or something like that.
Hand to God. I said, "Those are brothers. That's your own problem." I didn't have a problem, but I go, "Well, Neil's a real douchebag." After I said that, and then Brody dies.
He said in this town, by the way, I just want to clarify. He said, that's so funny.
Wait, I'll read the whole thing.
Brody died?
Yeah, Brody Stevens. Breaking news.
COVID?
Yeah, it was COVID. Yeah, they decided it was COVID.
Here's the thing about Brody.
I look bad in masks.
If Brody didn't die then, he would have died during the pandemic. He would have hated all this Black Lives Matter.
That would have made him nuts. Why? All I'm saying is, why can't it be everybody?
Why can't my life matter?
I don't matter. That's exactly what he would say.
Okay, I'm reading it right now. Going, "Hey, Neil, I just moved to LA full time. Want to hit you up about doing your room. Not sure who to contact, but I don't have your number anymore." He's like, buddy, you can't talk shit about me at the Comedy Store."
Wait. Stop. He double buddied you?
Yeah, double buddied.
Wow.
That's so funny.
Oh, that's a content.
Yeah, "You can't talk shit about me at the Comedy Store, then ask for spots. Bro, they love me here. This is my town," or something. Yeah, leave it alone. I was like, "I have no idea where you're hearing this from. I've never said anything about you. Even your brother is going off. I just sit there and I get quiet. believe what you want, but I never said anything. This is the truth. He's like, Chad, I'm 100% positive you're not telling the truth right now. That's okay. I have negative feelings towards people also. And then it just keeps going on and on and on.
He talks to you like he's your dad, or you know what I mean? He's like, buddy. It's not happening, man.
So I was like, fuck this guy. And then, so that happens. Brody dies. The Patton Oswalt tweet that gets me thrown off Punch Drunk, and I'm like,
yeah. So that was your 6 months in L.A.?
That was my first 3 months.
Jesus, you're a real tornado of trouble, bro. I thought Tripoli was.
When did you finally decide to bail, Chad? Because you
Yeah,
got out
when did you-
right ahead. You got out right ahead of this whole. The city fell apart. Like,
Well, you
not
left
long
after
after
the New Year, didn't you? You left in like January.
It was January 15th. I said, I'm out of here. Fuck this. I'm done. My lease was up. I was like, I'm out. I don't want to be here. Oh, I got evicted. I got evicted from the place I was staying. That was another thing that happened.
Where were you staying?
I was in Los Feliz, and I was living there off a lease. My buddy had this awesome place, and the landlord found out and threw me out. So I had to go move to Sherman Oaks, and I was living with this person for a while, and I didn't like it. So I was like, all right, this is
You were subleasing and got caught?
Yeah, but it was under the table. Like I was paying the guy.
You were paying the guy who was supposed to be living there.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, they hate that shit in L.A., but that's the sweetest deal in L.A. is like somebody, because it's so hard to get a decent place. And the minute you move out of your apartment, they raise the rent about $1,000 a month and put in hardwood floors. And
I guarantee you they'd love to have you now.
I know now they would.
Yeah,
come on back.
Yeah.
It was a great place. It was awesome.
But out there, so many people like are working and doing things. So you'll know somebody that's like, hey, I'm going to be in New York for fucking 6 months. You know, you can fucking stay at my place and pay my rent because so many people come to LA just for like a few months here, a few months there. And they always find out and kick you out.
Dude, when I first moved out, I was.
Like, why do you care? I guess it's a liability thing.
When I first moved out, I had agreed to rent this place that was kind of like that situation. It was part of the bottom floor of a house on Hollywood, up
when
just
you
kind
first
of above.
moved out
like,
here?
Yeah, just above like the Comedy Store where Hollywood kind of runs out, you know, or kind of curves down. And nice house though, nice area. And as I pulled into Oklahoma City. And we had agreed to this for months. And the guy texted me like, hey, dude, I just got a gig in New York. Sorry, you're not going to be able to rent the place.
Oh, my God.
I was driving my car with my entire life in it. And the place I had agreed to rent, the guy tells me I can't rent it in Oklahoma.
Oh, that's why you Airbnb'd when I met you?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, I stayed in Vegas for because Harrah's, you could stay there for they had some kind of special where you could stay there for like $20 a night or something, which is, you're never going to beat that anywhere. So I stayed at Harrah's for like 2 weeks. And in Vegas, yeah, just kind of trying to coordinate, like finding another place in Hollywood and in L.A. And then, then I found a place. I kind of rushed into finding a place. I moved from there later. But that place on Hayworth where I used to live, that's where I got.
What are you going to do, Johnny? You going to stay out there? What's the story with you guys?
Well, I'm in North Carolina now for the holidays, for until Friday, and then I'm going back to L.A. But, yeah, I think so. As long as we're doing podcasts out there.
Johnny's got to go back to L.A. and crack his eggs into my missus' fucking daughter.
My girlfriend's in L.A. too, so that makes it hard. But
Johnny's gonna hook me up with her horny mom. Apparently she loves laying in that mattress.
Yeah, I mean LA sucks right now. That really does. But Chad, we got that. We rented like a spot to do tinfoil hat. And we got kind of a little studio setup, and it's it's walkable from my apartment and everything. So it's pretty.
What's the other podcast you guys do? What's it called?
Broken Simulation. Yeah. And then Sam has about a million.
Name all of Sam's podcasts. Let's see if Johnny name all of Sam's podcasts.
Okay. All right. Punch Drunk. If you want to count.
Real quick.
If you want to count that.
I will technically count Punch Drunk because he is on every 3 episodes, and he's always on the episode that we're supposed to get paid like on the next episode. Whenever an advertising money is coming in or we have to do a very important commercial, that episode, coincidentally, Sam's always on.
That's weird. That's a weird coincidence.
You guys got to get in on this. Great, brilliant idea. And then I want to see if Johnny can name all these. Here's what we should do, Punch Drunk people. Just because there is zero chance in the history of time Sam Tripoli would ever listen to this episode where you're listening to right now as it's coming out of my mouth.
He might listen because I'm on it.
Oh, fuck. Nah, he already would have timed out by now. The minute that you said you can't legally talk about anything, he turned off.
Yeah, he wanted the gossip.
Yeah, he wanted the juice. We're already past the part where Sam turned off.
And to be fair to Sam, the guy's got twins. I mean.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, and to be fair to him, she was pregnant for a year. And to be fair to him, he was banging her for a year before that. I mean, he didn't just tune out the minute he had twins. But
I love how he found out. I found out he was dating her when she was pregnant.
So did everybody. That's a pretty that in their defense, that's a pretty easy tell.
I had no idea. That's why she hates my guts. I had no clue.
Oh, that's why. I'm just saying we should come up with this week, Johnny. We should create a fake commercial, and then tell Sam it's like our ad read, and be like he's got to read it. Like I'll be like I can't be there for that one or something.
That's funny.
And then make Sam do the craziest, most complicated ad read.
A lot of big words, a lot of huge words,
a lot of names, tongue twisters, a lot of names, a lot of names and tongue twisters.
That's a great idea, actually.
But like something he would want to do the fucking ad for, like something he really like.
Yeah, well, what could we like?
So what about just straight up boner pills? We're already kind of
he wouldn't do boner pills though because we got a conflict with Blue Chew. He wouldn't do that.
Oh, because you guys got Blue Chew on one of his other 50 podcasts.
Yeah, he wouldn't. He would call that a conflict. So what could we?
Johnny, how do you get ads? Is it just because of downloads and shit?
Well, there's Advertise Cast. Do you know about that?
No, I'm writing it down now.
Oh yeah, dude, you gotta sign up for that. AdvertiseCast.com.
AdvertiseCast.com.
Yeah, and then you just you apply to like get your shit listed on there, and then they will get you ads. Yeah,
I'm full on podcast mode right now.
Yeah, dude, for sure. Go to them.
Now, Johnny.
And then we also have another one kind of like them that helps us, but I don't think they have a website or anything.
If I write out this week like a really confusing like paragraph with like funny like use.
Well, let's think of what it could be. Like what would be?
I know, but if I were to write, we can do it right now. I'm great to fucking workshop this right now. I mean, shop work this, Johnny. But if I send it to you, can you put it in an email that looks official?
Oh yeah, dude, I'm the best at forgery,
faking shit. Yeah,
the best. Yeah.
I'll just write it out, and then you just fake it. Like, hey, man, make it look like you cut and paste one of those ad things that we always have to read.
So easy.
Because I'll put a lot of things in parentheses where it's like, and then we'll just keep stopping them, dude. You got to read it. You can't say like, okay.
You will be required to do a make good if you say and.com rather than and.com.
It should
be
like
all kinds of weird shit like that, dude.
It should be like a Snuggie knockoff. Like, you remember those Snuggies?
It's got to be believable, though. I know what you're saying. It's got to be, because I do like the idea of a wigwam from a dick, but it's got to be kind of believable because
some kind of ShamWow
to let him plow through it. If we could get him to read it like 3 or 4
like
times.
Like a beer brand, maybe something like beer.
Or you remember Life Alert? The old people I fall and I can't get up, like some sort of Life Alert thing.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Call it Wife Alert, and it just lets you know if your wife is like out of the city at any time, so you can keep tabs on your wife.
Wife Alert.
Yeah, Wife Alert. Because women be trifling.
I like this idea of the fake commercial for Sam.
It's good, yeah.
Because he's not going to listen to this part.
Definitely. There's no chance. Unless somebody rats us out on Twitter. Don't rat us out on Twitter.
Because the other thing is, if he gets caught listening to your voice, he's going to be in the shithouse with his fucking chick.
I know. So stupid. Throw some ball.
Now we probably have an 88% chance of her listening to this.
Oh yeah,
she saw you were on to see if we're talking shit about her.
What about like a sports thing, like a ticket?
Calm
thing,
down.
maybe?
By the way, she's blowing. She needs to calm down.
What? Yeah. Like maybe a ticket resale.
Hey, by the way, I want to get controversial. If she's listening, Team Dana. All right, go ahead.
Really spinning the fucking, really spinning the dial here. Well, there's also a 0% chance. You have maybe 1% chance any of the 3 of them are listening to this. And that 1% is.
Aren't you guys controversial though? Aren't you supposed to?
Baby's mama. Oh, sure. I mean, that's why ATC got rid of us. Oh, Johnny sent me the funniest picture of us in the studio with Aaron like in the background. Ari is completely naked, and his dick and balls right by my face, and my mouth is wide open.
I think that was ATC Fest, by the way.
That close to fucking gobbling his dick.
Does Ari ever do the podcast anymore?
I think Ari's in Indonesia or something right now.
What about Fight Nanny?
I don't know I don't know where she is. I mean, I know where she is. She's in California, being a mom, but I haven't heard from her. And
I stopped sending her the links, but Candace, if you want to come back on the show, please text me. We'd love to have you.
Always welcome, Candace. We miss you. Hope you're all well. But I haven't heard
Look
from
at
her.
that.
I sent her a happy Thanksgiving thing.
So this isn't live because I just got a Venmo.
Somebody Venmo you money?
Yeah.
Thanks, Doug.
That's
just
sweet.
Gave
yeah, no, it's not. It's not live. Nobody's
$20.
seeing this.
Oh, okay. That was just very weird.
That is weird.
The shirt works.
Yeah, $20, $19,980 more to go, bro.
Okay, you wanna shop work the ad read, or do you want me to name Sam's podcast, Brandon?
Oh yeah, no, because that's what I'm gonna do. Is between now and the next episode, I'm gonna come up with an ad that Sam has to read. I'm gonna send it to you.
Okay.
And then you
That's funny.
forge it to make it look good. We'll get Sam to read it, and you know how you could get him to do it, because you could get him sweeten the pot with his ego. Be like, they're fans of Sam's. They heard me call somebody a faggot on a recent episode.
Yeah.
During a read, and they only want Sam to do it. That's the only way.
Yeah, they would be like, they're unsure about Jason. They're a little.
They just think he's way more professional than I am. That'll hook him in the line and sinker right there.
Maybe could the advertiser
I need you to be quiet,
something?
bro. Don't say anything when you're doing this. And maybe I'll even slip in a faggot or something like that. But
Could the advertiser be something that compromises him morally a little bit? Like,
I called women cunt. They heard me call a woman a cunt. Let's make it a woman thing.
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, but they don't like Teeb because I called him a cunt because I said women are cunts. But maybe like a
Planned Parenthood.
Oh, that's good. Planned Parenthood would be decent.
Plan B, some kind of like a birth control pill. That would be.
He'd be all right with that.
Yeah.
Lord knows how many kids he would have if it wasn't for Plan B or birth control. He would have a fucking army.
Yeah, but then if it's some kind of medicine thing, then we get this long ass name, like the chemical name for it that he has to read. And that that's true. That's what I'm going for. Really long, like medical terms, and trying to get him to try to. Yeah, so
read
it's got
stuff.
okay. Let's make it like it's got to be something near medicine, so we can get these weird medical terms in there that he's got to read, like side effects. Side effect. He's got to do side effects include, and then just all these like priapism.
And say that he has to read the side effects. It's very important you read the side effects part fast.
Oh, fuck, man. Dude,
when
we do tinfoil hat reads, we do reads now.
It's got to be a vitamin supplement, like almost like a Alpha Brain kind of thing.
Yeah. There you go, supplement.
Because they all advertise on things. So
maybe
some
like
sort of
a
vitamin
like
supplement with terrible side effects.
What's that shit called? The prenatal vitamins for women, who are pregnant. We could do some prenatal.
Yeah, but he'll never believe the prenatal thing. It's got to be something for like.
Yeah, like an Alpha Brain sort of thing.
Alpha Brain, sort of Beta Brain. What about Beta Brain?
That's too obvious.
That's what I want to do. I don't know if he would. Beta Brain.
Beta Mind, maybe something like that.
Beta Mind's good.
Beta Mind.
Beta Mind. It's like
that's so dumb.
But it's so dumb because it's not even the best.
Beta Mind.
Beta's not even the best.
And it's called brain stimulation. Like it, and you can put all the
stimulation. He can't
Brain
say stimulation.
Yeah,
dude, you have no idea how hard it is. We do pre-records of the ads now, so that so that the poor guest doesn't have to listen to them on Tinfoil Hat.
Just like to get him to constantly have to try to get like brain stimulation, centrifugation, all kinds of
simulation,
all that kind of stuff with our brain centrifugation simulation.
Simulation.
Really long ones.
Beta Mind's unique combination of minerals and vitamins stimulates the mind in the cerebral cortex.
Wait, hold on. I have Alpha Brain. Let me go grab it real quick.
Oh, yeah, that's great. I never would have thought I would have heard him say he has Alpha Brain.
Beta Mind. So
I'm
dumb.
writing it down right. Red fat.
Dude, this is such a good idea.
It's going to be so funny. This would be Sam's punishment for never being on the show.
Yeah, punish Sam.
All right, bro. You got me.
I have Alpha Brain.
Memory and focus, it says.
That just says Alpha Brand. Oh, it does say Alpha Brain. Okay.
Alpha
Maybe I need some of
Brain.
that. I can't read.
What does it say?
Read us some of
Daily
the side
cognitive
effects.
supplement. Is that what it says? Cognitive's got to be in there. Write that down.
Read what it says about itself.
Assists in mental clarity, promotes flow state, whatever the hell that means.
Flow state. Yeah, that's great.
It's gluten-free. I'm trying to read some of this. This print's so small, it's hard to see.
Do not take if you are.
My eyes are gone bad.
Do not take if you're currently taking sulfonamides. That's a good word that he'll never be able to say. Sulfonamides.
While you're reading that real quick, I just want to know, Chad, real quick.
Sure.
On November 9th, you tweeted, "Hey Joe Rogan, anytime, any place, bitch." What do you mean by that?
That's true. That tweet was the first thing you said that was true. It means I'm gonna fuck him up. That's what it means.
You better keep eating more of that Alpha Brain. What else does it say about Alpha Brain?
Just the ingredients, which is
any confusing fucking long words in there?
It's a blend of vitamin B6, herbal extracts, or amino acids. It's.
Can you send us a picture of the back of it? Send it to Jason.
Yeah, I could do that.
I mean, I could just Google it too.
Yeah, I guess I could have just looked it up, but instead of, yeah, you have to do it.
This is funny. Yeah, this is funny.
That's a good prank.
Especially,
I got a lot of good nuts for that.
Dude, I was so right with you when you said that we got to make it appeal to his ego too. Like, yeah, they just don't quite trust because he'll love that. Because he's always on. He's always saying, dude, you got to stop saying cunt. You got to stop talking about babies and stuff, man.
Yeah, he can say fucking all these school shootings are fake and mean it, and I can't say women shouldn't vote and not mean it. That makes total sense.
You should say something like they kind of wanted the star of the show to do it.
Yeah, they'd just be like, you see no star power in Tebow or Johnny. There's really nothing there but skin and really piss.
I swear to God, if you rat us out on Twitter.
Don't do it. That would be a good.
Don't.
And fans, too. Don't do it, fans. This would be so funny. Let's
get Tripoli. Let's get Tripoli back.
Pulling over on him.
You guys are all in you guys help out. Help out with this.
Yeah. And feel free to send me any kind of
and after he does the read,
bits on this you want.
After you have all the fans be like, dude, that was a fucking awesome read. I just bought what's it called? Beta
Mind.
Mind.
Oh my God, I didn't think about the next level. Yes, after we do this read next week,
dude, I gotta make a fake website.
Have to go nuts. All the fans have to go nuts about Beta Mind.
Dude, I'll make a fake website.
How much it has fucking changed their life.
I'll make a fake website. Yeah, that we can look at while he's doing the read, and cut back to him. I'll scroll through a fake website.
Because what's really going to happen, Johnny, is what's the opposite. Is that from now on, he's going to insist on doing all the reads, which he never wants to do because he wants to do the littlest amount for this shit. Dude, I got to do it, man. I've got to do it. This is a real Windy City Heat situation we got going on here.
Yeah, he's our Scary Perry.
It really is. Yeah, so once you do the read next week, everybody, and then everybody just tweet at Punch Drunk and definitely at Sam Tripoli and of course at Beta Mind. Fuck, I bought this. I can't believe how great this product is.
Thank you, Sam.
Space them out. Be like, I'm definitely gonna buy it. That was a great ad read. And then be like, I got my Beta Mind in the mail yesterday after a few.
Beta Mind changed my life.
My wife thinks I'm a fucking complete idiot, and now she thinks I'm pretty fucking badass. Thank you, Sam Tripoli. Thank you.
I swear to God, my dick grew. I promise.
Dude,
thanks, Sam Tripoli.
I got to get some Beta Mind.
Oh, we should mention that it's it's slightly stimulating too. It's effective.
Also highly addictive. We should put highly addictive in the side effects.
Yeah.
Because Sam's gonna be like, did we get any samples of Beta Mind?
Anybody in recovery? Not recommended for anybody in recovery.
Yeah. No more than 2 pills per serving.
Yeah, there you go. You got to put a limit on it. Yeah.
The funny thing is, we're going to have to fucking make a placebo Beta Mind eventually and give it to Sam. And be like, bro, yep, here's the Beta Mind came in the mail.
Then watch him shill for it. Be like, oh, dude, I feel so much clearer. I'm sharper.
Dude, we should start a Beta Mind campaign and make him read. Or even when he's not there, we'll do Beta Mind reads when he is there. To offset it, I'll do a good Beta Mind read.
Just give him Alpha Brain.
No, because we don't want him to have any effect. So because then it's funnier, if it doesn't work at all. And then he's acting like it works. He's like, "Oh, dude, I feel so much clearer.
We want to give him like
Tic
Tacs or something. Just straight up Advil or something.
I can remember names now.
What about meth? What about we compress meth into pill form? What about we give him Adderall? What about a whole thing full of Adderall and we tell him that it's alpha brain?
Stacker 3.
Beta brain. Beta mind.
What about just
so dumb.
You know what milk thistle is? Milk thistle?
Yeah. It's good for
just
your
give him
stomach.
that.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, we should give him some.
I'm worried about allergy though. Like I don't know his allergies. He might have a weird allergy. I just want to give him like just a sugar
Dude, he says
pill.
smoke crack. He's fine.
Yeah,
no, he's fine. Then what do you worry about?
I was thinking of just like
itchy.
Centrum Silver, since he's a senior. You know, senior vitamins.
Yeah, you just kind of sand down the Centrum Silver.
Yeah, or get like the off-brand that doesn't have anything on it. You know.
No, you just send them like 14 of them in a little sample bag.
Oh yeah, dude.
Size.
Yeah, dude. I can.
You know, that's how they do that shit.
I can make a fake label, no problem.
You know what? And
here's your beta mind. But everyone's got to talk it up really big on the internet, and then we'll give him a sample of.
Oh yeah, like the first episode, dude. I heard that shit was great, man. I'm gonna check it out right now.
Dude,
everybody's been tweeting at me about it.
Tebow, so keep this thing going for about 2 months, and here's how you close it out.
That's what I'm saying.
Somebody writes in or somebody calls in or whatever, like their daughter died from it.
And then everybody starts dying. And then everybody that was on it starts dying. And we got Johnny sending him fake articles about how fucking beta mind, the death rate of beta mind just rises every day.
Then I get this phone call late at night from Sam. He's like, dude, you got to take those ad reads out of those episodes right now.
Every podcast is getting sued. Every podcaster is getting sued that's had anything to do with promoting it. The only Sam does all the reads every single time.
Beta mind's killing
It's
everyone.
not even the podcast. It's the host that does the read that's getting sued.
And then we're on the show. We're like, dude, that was you promoting that. Every single person tweeted at you. Beta mind fucking got
Also,
you,
one
bro.
thing we got to think about, is this like $100, but we were selling it for 90% off or something like that? Like, what's the promo? What does that get you? It's like normally $230, but it's 95% off with a promo code.
What about this?
Go ahead.
Use the promo code Punch Drunk. Get a lifetime supply.
Oh, God.
Now it's become Halloween 3. Remember Halloween when those kids would put that mask on and it would kill them? And that commercial
I didn't see
was
that
on?
one.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah, it was a terrible one. That was the third one.
It's notoriously one of the worst not Halloween, the franchise movies, but scary movies. It was like notoriously terrible.
Yeah,
Had
Mike
nothing to do with
Myers wasn't even
Mike
in it.
Myers. Yeah. Get a lifetime supply.
It's just this fucking, and it all comes at once too. So you just come up with this. Just have this tub that you can barely get your arms around.
And then everybody loves it for a week, and then everybody starts dying.
That's so funny, Chad. The dying thing.
It
It will scare him to death. That if we can get that far to it, he will die of fear.
And then he's getting sued. But none of us did any of the ads.
And yeah, the tweet has got to be something like, "Hey Sam, I love a big fan, buddy, but I just wanted to point out that this lawsuit. I saw you guys promoting this shit, and I just worried about you, man. Hope everything's okay."
We just bail on him. We totally bail on him.
Johnny,
Right in a minute when people are getting sued, me and Johnny we didn't do it. That was you that did that. Dude.
Yeah, bro.
Tampa.
Okay, bro. I see, bro. But
Johnny,
it was all you, Sam.
I could get one of these Tampa comics to call you, like a voice, like just talking about all this, just complaining, and you could play it on air.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, we should do that. Yeah, I'll be like, dude, I don't know how this guy got my number, but he just left his voicemail, and I'll just play it.
Oh, by the way, when he does the read, he has to say beta mine, and it's catchphrase. It's time to think.
That's so good. Time to think. That's so funny.
Oh my God.
That's so funny.
Ah,
And it's got to be read exactly like that. Beta
I'm
mind.
telling
Pause. Time to think.
I'm going to start listening.
Dude, me too.
Chad. Missed you, Chad, man.
Yeah,
too long.
man.
It's been too long.
I know. I love you guys.
I know you were mad at me too. You thought because somebody was ratting you out to Sam, like some shit. I don't know. Like Sam, you would like complain about what happened in LA on a podcast, and then it would get back to Sam, and Chad thought that was me doing that. for some reason.
Doing what? Oh,
ratting him out to Sam. And I know who it was because Sam told me who it was. It was Garnett who was doing it.
Oh. The guy, that guy on Twitter. Yeah.
So it wasn't me. No, I'm on Team Zumock.
Yeah, no, you always been Johnny's always been the good guy, and I appreciate it. And
Johnny's money in the bank.
He's solid, just a solid person.
Yeah, it's going to be sad when we don't do this podcast.
Have you been back in LA?
Ad campaigns ever?
Fuck no.
Not once. Okay.
Not once. I don't know when I'm coming back either.
Is
the store ever going to be back? Is that going to be a thing?
Can you leave the state right now? It's like, seriously, are you allowed to leave the state? How does that work?
I think so. I think I don't know how it works. I've never been on bail before, so it's kind of
crazy,
new to
right?
me.
Like, what is that like?
It's weird. I just like cool bail. I have a bail bond.
That is.
Have you ever been?
Weird,
was that your first time in jail? That wasn't your first time in jail, was it?
No, I've been arrested and like I honestly, this is how stupid I was during the whole process. Like, like when I got like DUI charge, like someone came pick me up. I thought it was gonna be one of those situations. And then they drive me to they kept driving, and then we pull into like a real county jail. I'm like, what's going on? Then you sit in there, and they put you in a uniform, and you got your bedding, and you go in. I'm like, I'm in jail? Like I'm in real jail. This is. I go, what did I do?
I never got that fancy.
What was that like?
It was horrific. It was the worst experience ever. That's why I spent $6,500 to get out of there. I could have stayed and had my
weeks. You would have been in there for weeks, maybe.
Yeah, because all the courts are shut down, and they're doing it through Zoom. So it's just been a weird time, and these courts are broke. They're going. They need money, so they're jacking on charges. So anybody, if you're drinking, driving, doing anything, just don't, because they're
Put
trying
on
to
a mask and take an Uber.
Yeah.
Or Lyft or whatever the fuck.
So yeah, it's a fucked up time, and I don't know. Hopefully I get through it, and hopefully I can laugh about it. But right now, it's
good
not
luck,
fun.
man. Good luck to you.
Yeah,
really.
for sure.
And please check out Chad's Patreons. We don't have any sponsors. We'll consider that our sponsor for this episode is Chad Zumock's Patreon. So please check it out.
Sit down, Zumock. Thanks for the plug.
And Betamind.
Yeah,
and Betamind.
Yeah,
Betamind's the sponsor.
How can I forget about Betamind?
It's time to think.
Time to think.
That's so fucking funny. Okay, so Sam's podcast. He's got Punch Drunk.
Oh yeah, wait. Johnny,
marginally.
And Johnny do it. Punch Drunk.
Tinfoil
I
hat.
would put him up as once a month because he does like 3 15-minute appearances.
Yeah. Tinfoil hat.
Has 2.
Broken Simulation
3.
He does Zero. It's a spiritual podcast that he does.
Are you serious?
On Rockfin. Yeah.
He's doing a spiritual podcast?
Yep. He interviews like gurus and people,
All right,
people who know shit about religion and stuff. He has
the Callen one, right?
Yeah, he has. It's called Conspiracy Social Club with Bryan Callen.
That's 5.
That's 5. He does
over under 7.
He does a Patreon podcast, which is kind of like 2 podcasts, really, but let's count it as 1. So he has 1 on Patreon.
So is this Patreon the Patreon for
the Tinfoil
hat and?
No, Broken Simulation is a different Patreon. Oh yeah, I mean, we consider that part of.
Hey,
we call it Broken Simulation Special Edition is what we call it, just to be stupid. Let's say the Patreon is 1 though, to be fair to Sam. Okay, and then he oh shit, what? There's another. Oh yeah, he has that On the Record thing that he does, which is kind of a podcast where he calls, which is it's a great idea. He like people like spam callers or when he's calling to pay his credit card bill and shit. These people aren't allowed to hang up the phone. These people in customer service, you have to hang up the phone. So at the end of it, after he's done doing his business, he just rants about a conspiracy for a couple of minutes to this poor person on the line, until they say something. So that's another one if you want to count that.
That's 7.
That we're talking at 7, yeah. And he's talking about doing another one on Rockfin, something else, like an NBA thing or something like that.
Cooking show. Totally sure. Cooking show. 8.
Yeah. He does. I Can't Cook. It's called. 9. Really creative name there. I Can't Cook with Sam and Martha.
And the podcast at number 9, he does a podcast with his babies.
Oh yeah, Spiritual Talk for Babies.
That's 9. That's 9 podcasts.
Yeah, it's a lot. The guy works, man. You can't say Sam Tripoli doesn't hustle.
Is he doing well?
Oh, he's doing great. Yeah, he's doing really good. He's super happy. He's loving being a dad.
Dude, that thing he does with Callen alone is mondo. Huge.
You know what we should do? Let's see. Not maybe with the Callen thing, but let's see how many of Sam's other podcasts we can get Betamind to sponsor.
Yeah. Maybe I should do a podcast with D'Elia if he's doing well with Callen.
You should. You, D'Elia, and Jeff Ross should do a podcast. Called Breaking Rocks.
I texted with Chris a couple times. He's just being a dad. He's off. Really he's off the grid. He's off the grid, man.
D'Elia, I didn't even know he had a kid.
Yeah, he kept
just did when all that happened.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
okay.
He's engaged with a kid. He doesn't check online or anything, man.
Yeah, yep. I can't blame him. I mean, shit.
He's already his kid's like I want to say like maybe 9 months old, and Chris is already dating his kid's best friend.
Oh, too soon. Come on.
I mean, they're not serious. That's all that really matters.
What sports? We talked about a little on the Patreon. If you want to check that out, patreon.com/ what the fuck is it? Is it Punch Drunk Sports? Yeah, Punch Drunk Sports altogether. We talked about Nate Robinson getting knocked the fuck out, which you can see him.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about that
deceased
whole did you watch any of that, Zumock?
I saw it all online. There was no way I'm paying $49.99 for that nonsense.
Yeah, we pirated it, both of us. We just watched it.
I pirated it.
If you ever need links to shit, Chad, just text me. I'll give you a link.
Yeah, and if anybody bought that thing for $49.99, I expect you to sign up for all our Patreons for $49.99.
Yes.
I also expect you to buy Betamind.
It's time to think.
And in the case of Nate Robinson, it's time to think about never boxing again because he almost died in the ring with. We should say, okay, so he's fighting. What's that fucking guy's name? Luke. What's his name?
Luke Skywalker.
Paul. What's
Logan
Paul? Is it Logan Paul? Yeah. So Logan Paul is a guy who really trains boxing. He's a real fighter now. And say what you will about him, he's kind of a weird dude. I'm not a big fan, but he's a legit boxing guy. This is Nate Robinson's first fight. And it's sanctioned by the California Athletic Association, like any event would have to be. And so, but this referee gives this guy the longest count I've ever seen in my life. Nate Robinson should have been counted out. He clearly is concussed. He's like holding the back of his head like this, can barely open his eyes. The first knockdown, and he gives him at least 15 seconds to get up. He goes like 1, 2. Very slow, and like stops counting for a few seconds. And once Nate Robinson gets up, it's clear that he's fucked. He gets knocked down again. Should have been over then. And then this last time he gets knocked out, the pure knockout where you just go straight on your face. He just landed straight on his face and didn't move for a few minutes. Could have died. So it was a farce. I agree with the boxing guys. They're saying this is kind of a joke and they should stop doing it. These kind of exhibitions like this where they're not wearing headgear. And they're beating the shit out of each other.
Someone's gonna get knocked out.
Yeah, they're using like
how
real
can you call
gloves.
that a draw. You know, they actually in the rules was there's not going to be a winner.
The Tyson thing, yeah.
Yeah, and the Tyson one, there's no winner.
No knockouts,
so
no knockdowns, and no winners.
So if you see anybody, but someone's gonna get clipped. I mean, it's goddamn boxing. People get knocked out opening their car door sometimes. You know what I mean? Someone's swinging punches at you like Mike Tyson. Here's what I enjoyed. First of all, here's what I hated. Let's go what I hated first. I illegally downloaded this thing, so I didn't pay money, so I'm sorry if anybody did, unless you really enjoyed it. But for the first 20 minutes, I'm just watching rappers smoke pot. I watched 2 entire joints get smoked before I started questioning because I was at my buddy's house. I go, dude, did we get the wrong feed here? Is this not the fight?
That's what I thought too. Yeah, that's what I thought too.
7 songs. It was half a concert. 7 rap songs, which is fine and dandy if that's what I knew I was getting into. But tell me that. And I won't turn your shit on because I was actually legally watching the UFC fights. I would have left it on the UFC fights, and I kept changing back to last channel, and it's like still fucking rappers smoking gigantic joints. I mean, these joints were no joke either. They look like fucking Shaq's dick, smoking these giant bombs. And I'm like, fuck, it's gonna be fucking a long time before that joint's gone. That's a big joint right there. I'm thinking. I just want to see the fights.
Snoop was great though, commentating.
Snoop commentating was great. It's always great. Snoop's always funny when he's allowed to just be himself. Tyson saying he smoked before the fight, I think that's great too. I saw that today.
Yeah, he said he was high for the fight. Yeah.
I don't think it's great that in general that he did it. I think it's great that he said it. Because everybody I just saw that thing Marshawn Lynch was talking about. He always would do a shot of like Hennessy or something before every fucking game. For some stupid reason, you can't really say that because they don't want kids doing shots of Hennessy before their fucking Little League games. Yeah. But welcome to my world.
So Nate Robinson got knocked out by an internet troll. That's
knocked
like
the fuck out.
He got like knocked out in like almost like in a cartoony clown
I
way.
was watching a little of Kareem Martin's feed. I mean, Kareem Matthews. He was a guy who used to play football at North Carolina. Kareem Matthews' feed of this, he was just holding his camera up to the TV, and I watched it a little bit after the fight just to kind of see what it was like. And Kareem was watching it with some friends of his, maybe his family, and you hear them when Nate Robinson gets knocked out, they go, he just set black people back 50 years. It was, I mean, he never looked like he had a chance. He was just doing this thing like rushing in with his jab and just getting pounded on.
Well, you know what it was? Like, nostalgia is so big right now. Like, Cobra Kai, everybody wants the old school shit.
Which, that's good, though. I got to say, Cobra Kai's good.
It was phenomenal.
Good for my old ass.
It was great. But the thing about the Tyson fight, we remember those old pay-per-views, like just those events. Like, it was the biggest thing ever. Those boxing Tyson.
It's what you did on the weekend. That's what you did Saturday night. You're like,
so we almost got hoodwinked.
Fight, then I'm going out.
We got hoodwinked. We were like, oh, we want to go back to that time when Tyson was the man, and that's what happened.
Man, I'll say, dude, I thought, and Jason, tell me if you disagree about this, but I thought with those rules that they laid out, this was the best event it could have been, like the main event, the Tyson-Jones. Like, that was as competitive as it could have been, I think, with the rules that they had there. Like, Tyson was really ripping his body, and then Jones, you could tell Jones got his juices going and started like, hey, dude, I can either go out like a bitch or I can start throwing some punches.
I was entertained with the fight. The fight entertained me.
Yeah.
The whole overall spectacle I found to be weird. I mean, the ring was literally the size of a phone booth. There's no audience. There's no judges. You got Snoop Dogg.
Well, yeah. Did you? How weird was that? Right after the fight, right? The referee goes out and grabs their hands like they're gonna read the scorecards, you know. And then they go back to the booth, and then they cut back, and it's them out of the ring in the ramp, like with Jim Gray in between them, and he says, "Okay, it's a draw." And that was it. It was really
then
weird.
My question is, why do you need a referee?
Why do you need judges?
Why do you need a referee? There are no judges.
No, there were judges. They were saying the judges were I can't remember who, but like honorary judges or something. I don't know.
That just meant I don't know what that meant. The list of rules said there were no judges, but if you're not scoring,
the ringside judges: Chad Dawson, Vinny Pazienza, and Christy Martin. They were scoring. They were scoring the fight unofficially. That's what it says.
So that just means they had good seats.
Yeah, and this. Yeah, it's weird.
I never once heard anybody scorecards.
No, yeah, nothing. Yeah.
So why have them there? Is that just for like? I don't know.
Bizarre. It was bizarre. Yeah.
So it looked like a fight or something. Yeah, it was a wild thing. I mean, I don't know what the next one is going to be, but I again will not pay for it. I'll watch it illegally.
Did you hear Jones after though? You could tell Jones was really impressed with Tyson's punching power. He was, he flat out said it hurts a lot. And that
the interview afterward was another thing that I liked. I felt it was like a very, you know what it felt like? It felt like when Jeff Dennis fought Gomez at the other thing. It felt like two people I know that I like fighting each other where there was really nothing at risk. It was just interesting to see.
They respect each other.
Two buddies fight in a fucking celebrity fucking match or something.
And those guys respect each other.
Two 50-year-olds just get some cardio in. That's what you paid for.
Yeah. I think Tyson's going to keep doing it, though. I could tell Jones didn't really want to. He didn't want any of it. You could tell. He was trying to act like he might have, but he didn't. But Tyson, I think, is going to keep fighting. He says he was. Did you see him before the fight when Jim Gray asked him, hey, are you scared? And he goes, of course I'm scared. I'm 54 years old. He's a completely different guy than he used to be.
He's become very funny.
Yeah, I think he's kind of a genius in a way. Like, he's got a mind that's a little twisted, you know, that is perfect for comedy and, like, insight.
He was on Stern, and he was talking about how he went through an incredible amount of therapy after he had kind of completely realized he had retired from boxing and just kind of reinvented who he wanted to be, which is philanthropic and kind of just with his upbringing, the kind of person he was scared to be, which is just really himself, just like this sweet kind of teddy bear kind
of
guy.
And to show sensitivity, like to show vulnerability. Yeah, that was his big fear because he couldn't do that as a kid because that meant you were a pussy and you were going to get your money stolen. Yeah.
Who was his legendary trainer?
Customato. Yeah.
Yeah, he literally just turned him into a machine.
He was a weapon.
Yeah, so he had to learn how to be
told him about the history of boxing and just surrounded him in boxing. That was his entire life. And, it's funny. Tyson had this really insightful what he said with Stern. Jason, I'm sure you saw this. He said, when I was contemplating retiring, quitting boxing, it was in a way like a suicide. Like I was killing the bad part of myself, like killing myself basically, and leaving it so that the good part of me could still live.
That's how I feel about. That's exactly how I fucking feel about Punch Drunk. Not to make this an emotional thing, but
Yeah,
it's about me. But that's exactly how I feel.
well, Tyson should have just skipped therapy and took Betamine.
It's time to think, bro. It's because it's time to think.
It's time for you to think about taking Betamine.
Johnny, can you do me a solid and look up something real quick? Because somebody just texted me this. I'm going to look this up.
Yeah,
Who's the leading scorer in the NFC?
Leading. See, I already know what this is, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to play along.
I could be wrong because people went buck wild the other night. God, DK Metcalf is special, but that's not who it is. I'm trying to see.
God, he's a beast. Let me see here. Well, that's not a sortable. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
You got it?
Koo?
Young Wei Koo.
Koo. Wow. Okay.
The greatest kicker in the history
He's a
of
kicker,
time.
right?
Yep, leading scorer in the NFC. He went absolutely ape shit this weekend.
Heil Kickler.
Heil Kickler. Ooh, I like that. We could put that in our because I'm a fan of this kicker, Chad. Young Wei Koo, South Korean kicker for the Falcons. And I'm starting his fan club calling it the Ku Klux Klan.
You don't see any problems with that, do you? That's cool,
No, I see that going off.
I don't know what else. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, we've got this thing because in Korea, the dominant religion is Christianity, and we're pretty sure Koo is a Christian. So as a sort of a
way to say
show of unity and like welcome him and welcome new people. Whenever somebody new moves into a neighborhood, especially minorities, because we want to be welcoming to minorities, we take a cross and light it on fire, so people can see it at night, and then we put it on their lawn.
To say welcome to town, buddy. We love you.
Yeah, and join our club. Yeah.
Speaking of Koo, shout out Esther Koo.
Shout out to Esther Koo,
Yeah,
friend of the show.
Lovely, very very hot.
Sorry, that was my Esther Koo impression.
There's about 8 comics that have this Jason Galern was texting me and he goes, I got to get a fucking annoying laugh. Every fucking comic's got the fucking most annoying laugh and they're fucking rich as fuck.
He's funny on Twitter.
Who's the most annoying laugh you guys know? Is it Sam? There's
that's
worse,
a
right?
good question.
There's worse.
Whitney's laugh bothers me, but then again, she bothers me.
Yeah, she's.
Fuck, that's a hard question. There's got to be somebody that has a real fucking who is that? Who's that? Like a Fran Drescher kind of a voice somewhere.
We had this guy on that used to date her on. It's so weird, dude. There's this guy that is going around. His name is Shiva Ayadurai, and he's like an anti-vax guy, and he also is. He's saying the election. He's explaining how the election was rigged. He ran for Senate in Massachusetts, and he said it was rigged too. And he used to go out with Fran Drescher for a long time.
That makes me question everything.
Yeah, I really want to have him on and talk to him about it because when I was a kid, dude, I had the hots for the nanny.
Really?
Time. Oh yeah, dude. When I was 10, maybe when it was on the air, I just used to look at her boobs and have weird feelings, man.
I think it's just because I live in Los Angeles. I know a lot of nannies. I know a lot of people that nanny or used to nanny, and now they don't nanny, including the fight nanny, ladies and gentlemen.
The fight nanny, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome to Punch Drunk, Fight Nanny. Bring her in, Johnny.
Johnny, here she is.
Nobody nannies anymore, really, do they? I mean, can you even nanny in LA now? How's that work?
I'm sure there's people that are so rich they make their nannies live with them.
Yeah. Although I'm pretty sure Sam has a nanny.
Their every move. And constantly watch their every move to make sure they don't get COVID.
COVID-19.
I can't wait for COVID-20.
COVID-20 coming 2021.
I'm going to say something crazy for this show, and take this good or bad or however you want it, and I don't mean any offense to anybody, but I hope Johnny gets COVID and dies. No offense, and I mean that. I mean that in a positive, in a good way.
That's rude.
I can't
You know
say
what's so funny?
I don't agree.
When you'll say things like that are just like the most horrific, like, oh my, don't say that. Like people get really upset if you say anything real crazy like that.
It's kind of a superstition almost.
Because I used to do this joke that would be like, I would say, certain, like you can't dare God or whatever, like it, and I would go, if there is a God in heaven on stage, right? First, I called God a fag or something like that. And then people are like, oh, you can't say that. I'm like, if God was real, he wouldn't have made me able to even say that. If that was a problem with God, no one would even be able to happen. I go, as a matter of fact, if there is a God, I dare you to give this guy cancer. And I just point to the guy in the front row, whoever random person in the front. I dare you to give this guy cancer if you are a real God in heaven. And it made people lose their mind. They were so awkward. It would get like maybe like, those jokes that are so over the line that you get like 10% of people are laughing really hard at it because they like to see that line cross.
Stern used to do that, dude. Remember he would like pray on air, like, if there's a God in heaven, please strike Don Imus down with colon cancer. He would do that all the time. Stern's way ahead of his. That guy was
But it's
great.
like, who cares? It means nothing. I'm sure that person.
You a Stern guy, Chad?
I was. Everything's past tense with Stern. It was always
me
great.
too. Me too.
Yeah.
I got to say, in my defense, I was doing that bit at a children's cancer benefit in a children's cancer hospital.
Probably
but
kills
it's still
there.
a pretty sweet bit.
They probably love
pretty
that
good.
shit.
That's good shit. Hey, guys, I have another podcast I got to go do with Dave
I got to
Landau.
jam, too.
All right, guys.
This was fun.
I
Yeah,
love you,
missed
buddy.
you,
Good
Chad.
luck
Yeah.
with everything. Anytime you want to come on, you always got a place to come and promote whatever you got. And good luck with everything. And don't be a stranger, Zoom in.
Beta mine's in the mail.
Yes,
Beta
I want
Mind.
to be around for Beta Mind for one of them. So
After a while, dude, I'll text you and be like, do it now. And then maybe like in like a couple weeks and then just text Sam. Dude, have you ever tried this Beta Mind shit? What's the deal with that? Everybody keeps talking about it.
yeah, and don't rat us out.
Oh, no, we got to get it.
Don't rat us
that-
out. Yeah, don't rat us out.
Okay, we got to start with something light and then get to death, like it makes your hair fall out or something. Because we'll get Sam to take it, and then
We
some
got to
people will
get
be
Sam
like,
taking it.
"Dude, my hair fell out when I took Beta Mine."
And then-
Somebody else
and
had
then
that?
we
And
gotta
then all
tell
these people are like,
Sam.
"Yeah, that happened to me too, bro."
Well, we'll tell them we're really taking it too. And then when everybody starts getting those side symptoms, we'll be like, no, we were lying. We were never really taking it.
Like we haven't been able to get erections.
Hair loss, erections, and sudden death are the side effects.
Well, guys, thank you. And if you
love you, buddy. Chad, good luck with
yeah,
everybody.
thank you. Sign up for my Patreon for $3, guys, and support Punch Drunk. And
Please do.
we'll talk to you soon, guys.
There you have it. Good luck. Good luck, Z-Man.
Tell them to suck
I
it,
need
Jason.
it. I need it.
Suck it.